Trail Vinny asks a good question. In a world where the majority of people will guard money much more than time, how do you protect your own time and still not offend people or damage relationships both professionally and personally? Any strategies or good reads on this you could suggest? Yeah, this is the bane of my existence. I get hit up for coffees, lunches, meetings, obligations, to-dos, phone calls. For a little while, I was a little ornery about it, and I used to own the domain idon'tdocoffee.com. And I would reply to emails from Naval at idon'tdocoffee.com. But that was rude and stupid, and that was the petulant, younger, more brash version of me. These days, I've become sort of a master at evading meetings that suck up time. The reality is time is all you have in this world. And when you're young, you're seeking out opportunities, so you look forward to serendipity, you're taking new meetings, dynamics, energizing you, meeting people. As you get older, you have too much opportunity, you have too many people, you have too much family obligations, you have too many things to do, you have too many places you could be. And then you just end up busy. And busy is the death of productivity and happiness. Derek Sivers, who I think Tim had a great podcast with, said, I'm not going to say yes or no. I'm going to say hell yes or no. Like basically, unless I'm really excited about something, I'm not going to do it. I think that's a good heuristic to try out. So what if it offends people? You have a very short life on this earth. You have to spend it being happy and doing what is productive and what matters with the people closest to you. And I think all the greatness in life comes from, all the great outcomes in life come from compound interest, whether it's in investing or whether it's in relationships. So like my most popular tweet of all time is this one that's kind of glib, but it says, if you can't see yourself working with somebody for life, don't work with them for a day. Now, of course, you're not going to say, no, I'm not going to work with you because I'm not working with you for the rest of my life. But it's a good reminder that if any relationship is short-term or temporary, it's really not going to pay out the dividends that you want later in life. So it's better to just kind of treat a lot of your time as a search function where you're searching through the set of jobs, you're searching through the set of dates and spouses, you're searching through the set of friends, you're searching through the set of hobbies until you find things you love. And when you find things and people that you love, you go all in on them. So when you find the person that you love being around 24/7, and if they're attractive and of the opposite sex, you marry them. If there's, friends that you just never get tired of hanging around with, well, those are going to be the 3, 4, 5 friends that you spend most of the rest of your life with. Hopefully they're happy people because it'll rub off on you. There's a theory called the 5 chimps theory where you can, in zoology, you can predict the mood, behavior, patterns of any chimp by which 5 chimps they hang out the most with. So choose your 5 chimps carefully. So I would say yes, people can get offended and it can damage relationships if you blow them off or if you're non-responsive. But you have very little room in your life long-term for real relationships. So guard that time. And it's actually really important to have empty space. If you don't have a day or 2 days a week in your calendar where you're not always in meetings and you're not always busy, then you're not going to be able to think. You're not going to be able to have good ideas for your business. You're not going to be able to have good judgments. So I also encourage taking at least 1 day a week, preferably 2, because if you budget 2, you'll end up with 1. A day a week where you have nothing on your calendar and you just have time to think. It's only after you're bored that you're going to have the great ideas. It's never going to be when you're stressed or busy or running around or rushed. So make the time. Same way with people, you need to have space in your life where you're not booked with the people that you already know. So this way, once in a blue moon, an invitation will come along and a person will come into your life that's suddenly really interesting, and now you'll be able to make the time for them. So I think you have to be pretty ruthless about saying no to things, about turning people down, and leaving room in your life for serendipity. And in my experience, normally if you don't make time for people when they're requesting time for you, yes, it's a little painful, it's a little socially awkward, but the people aren't going to disrespect you. If anything, they want to hang out with you even more because they realize you're very discriminating with your time. But guard your time. Forget the money. I mean, money is actually the least important thing. There's a discount rate to money. I like asking my friends, which is, okay, if you could keep your friends and family and you could keep everything you know, but you lost all your money and your job and you had to start over. But in exchange, you get to be younger. You get to be physically younger. How many years of your life would you have to get back in exchange for giving up everything you've earned and put away? And I have friends who say, 5 years or 10 years. For me personally, it's about 2 to 3 years. I'd start over with everything if you gave me back 2 or 3 years of youth, frankly. But the older you get, the smaller that number gets. When you're on your deathbed, when you're in your last days, you'd give up every dollar at the bank for another week, another few days, another hour, another minute. So money has a very steep discount rate as you get older. And you just realize you get older that it matters less and less and less outside of the bare necessities, which, unfortunately most of the world is still struggling with. But the fact that you can probably listen to this podcast on an iPhone or whatever you're listening to it on, means you're already better off than a lot of people. So guard your time. It's all you have.